Welcome to the Invest In Podcast, the show where we help you learn how to make more money through real estate and other passive investments. We're your hosts, Zach Hoyt and Eric Richner, entrepreneurs, investors, and the guys behind Maverick Asher Capital. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just getting started, buckle up because we're taking you on a journey to help you achieve the lifestyle of your dreams.
Now let's hit the road.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the Invest In Podcast, where we uncover tons of ways to achieve the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Zach Hoyt, with my co-host, Eric Richner. We have had great response so far and wonderful comments in our first couple episodes. Really cool. And those things, we learned a little bit about us as individuals, about what we're doing, some more details about me and my background, my rock bottom, and left you with some 6 golden nuggets of wisdom. Elevate your mind, your life, your bank account. Love it. I'm always looking to help you guys out, the audience, just to achieve your goals faster through some really seriously specialized knowledge and wisdom. I just love it all. And so also, by the way, if my phone happens to go off, it's because I'm still on baby watch here. Literally any day now, this could happen with my wife and my second little baby boy being born. So excited. Last night we set up the pool in the living room. If you haven't watched the last episodes, listen to them. We're doing a home birth. It's going to be freaking amazing, just like the first one. And you'd be able to see any of that and learn how awesome it is to do a home birth in the world. And then Eric, of course, has his first baby boy that's on the way in a little bit. So I'll let him update you all about that.
Yeah, so right now we have 6 weeks to go. My wife just hit 34 weeks. We just came back from our baby moon, which up until 3 months ago, I had not even heard of the term. I'm glad it exists because it is really nice to be able to get your significant other out and about, vacationing, and just kind of getting a little bit of relaxation before our worlds are turned upside down. You know, with our little guy coming in the middle of May. I knew I was a handful, so we're expecting nothing less than terremoto, which is little earthquake in Spanish, número dos.
Número dos. Me gusta español también. Anyway, in case you guys didn't know this as well, our capital investment firm, we named it Maverick Asher Capital. The reason we did that is because it's paying an homage to our little boys, Maverick and Asher, and it just keeping the forefront of why we're doing everything in this world. It's our why. We're putting it right there on what we're doing. So we're very open people. We love sharing with all of you, with our investors and everything that we're doing. And so today we've got a great one for you. We're actually going to be sharing some highlights of this amazing RV and glamping resort that we're currently developing right now in North Carolina. I already bought the land, clearing trees, having fun, creating this thing that doesn't exist and that is going to be amazing, right? And in case you don't know what an RV or glamping is, these terms in general, we'll use them a lot throughout the whole podcast. So I'll let Eric explain those to you just really quickly.
Yeah, so I'm actually in my RV, which stands for recreational vehicle. So there are a lot of different types, but generally RVs are either they have a motor inside of them and you can take your home with you, or they're towed either with a fifth wheel, which are the fifth wheels are just really big ones that attach to the back of trucks, the bed. I tow my RV, which is an Airstream, with our truck. So we have a travel trailer RV. An RV moves. Glamping, those are not meant to move. Those are just, think of really, really fancy outdoor accommodations that, you know, the glamping, you could be in a big tent and it's glamping. You could be in a luxury tent that has its own kitchen and 60-inch TV and like a see-through wall. That's luxury glamping. So a lot of people think all glamping is just a big old fancy a yurt, something that you just enjoy outside. And, you know, you have to go and use the restroom in a bucket type of deal, which that's not all glamping. That's just the normal and old school glamping. So we're all about luxury glamping. So when we're talking about glamping, think of amazing 30-foot tall tree houses and all these other things that Zach and I are going to be talking about in this episode.
Stuff that you maybe haven't seen in person, but you'll see it on Instagram, right? You're like, whoa, where are they? That's the type of feel that we are creating. And so this development in North Carolina, we're not going to make you sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. We're going to be giving some industry awesome insights. I mean, things that people are going to want to copy, but that's okay because we're living in an abundance mindset right now. But this development is going to be amazing. Everything that we have put together, and we want to share that with you, help paint that picture for you, because we are building the most technologically advanced RV destination in the world. No joke, because the person who currently has that title is on our team and working with us, and they're going to pass the torch to us. Been on some other podcasts, and they've called it the Disneyland of RV parks. I'm like, wow, that's a lot easier. People get that than a mouthful of all that. But yeah, Eric, if maybe you could share a little bit of how this just came to be, how we came together, and what the little background of it.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing, before we even get to the part of how we got to be, you just need to anchor yourself at the size and just the overall beauty of this place just from a 30,000 foot view. It's 75 acres and growing as we acquire more property. And it's going to be a waterfront destination with its own private beach. We'll talk way more about that more on in the episode, but just wanted to get that part of that picture painted and anchor you where, of the sizing and the type of landscape you would imagine in North Carolina. But where we all started, we actually got brought on together to work on the first version of this. So on our very first episode, we talked about how we all got together as contractors and we were all working together on just a much smaller idea, a much smaller project, and it just blossomed. I would say ballooned, but those are usually pop, so we're just going to stick with blossomed into this amazing opportunity that we have now that we're not just building for ourselves, we're building it for our future boys, as well as all of those people out there listening to come in and enjoy as well.
Yeah. So check out that first episode if you want to hear a little bit about how we came together. That's super cool. But yeah, I want to paint a picture for you. Eric did a great job. 75 acres. You might not know what 75 acres feels like, looks like, how long it takes you to walk around. But trust me, we walked around it. It takes you a long time to walk around all of these types of things. And yeah, just like Eric's saying, we are creating this. It's not just for the money that is so hollow to us. It's for the experience. It's the experience for us. It's the experience for our families, our little boys, and frankly, for our investors. All the people that are investing with us right now. And by the way, you could too. For all those people that are investing with us right now, we are currently giving away 20 years of free resort stays so that they can come here with their family every year, time and time again, because we want to give back to everybody that is helping us do all of these things. And it's going to be tons of fun. It's literally the point of what we are doing. So let's paint this picture for you, right?
I'm gonna jump in. I just ran the numbers. This is the easiest way for all you football fans out there. 75 acres is equivalent to exactly 100 football fields.
Oh, because I can envision 100 football fields, right? That's huge. But it anchors you at least to know, like, all right, here's one football field, but 100 of them, even that concept is like blowing the mind a little
Yep.
bit. No, that's cool. That helps us not know how big it is, but it's huge. It's huge, right? So paint a picture. You guys go on a vacation wherever you're going for vacation. Usually, I imagine you look up some things in the area, you get excited about it in advance. Hey, you maybe plan out, we might have an itinerary. I know for us, we love going to Mexico. My wife loved swimming with dolphins. You look at that. Sometimes they've got dune buggies. Sometimes they have things that you can shoot, things that you can slide on, beaches, of course, all of that. But you're looking at this online and you're saying, all right, at a resort, a luxury experience. I cannot wait to get out of my daily grind, whatever the heck that is, get some alone time with my family, with my friends, whomever the heck is going, whatever type of trip that you like to do. Maybe it's even just by yourself, right? But do these things, get excited for it. And then there's this meandering drive in North Carolina that we've got to get to because this is a destination. So you're going to get there. You're going to go through all of this, probably 15 minutes of driving through the North Carolina wilderness to get to the coast, all the way east to the coast. And then as you're pulling in, you'll see these signs for it like, most technologically advanced RV destination, Hidden Beach, smart RV resort. You get there, you can see some things in the distance. You see a little glimmer of water in the distance, and then you see a turn to pull in with the sign like, hey, you're here, right? Destination. You see this big gate in front of you that is opened up at this point, and with a sign that says, wait, we're going to come pick you up. And you already know, because we've been in contact, that even though we might have robots at this resort, we're going to have humans meet and greet you at the entrance. So they're going to meet you right there in your RV, in your car, whatever you are taking to get to this destination. And they're going to personally guide you to your spot, because we want it to have a white glove type of experience right from the beginning. Yes, the robots will be great to do the fun things they can do, and we'll talk about those, but that allows our humans to really interact in a way with you. So they meet you right at the gate. They're like, hey, they hopped in their golf car and they're saying, hey, I'm going to take you right to your spot. So you follow them, you continue following. They take you exactly to your little sweet oasis for the weekend, the week, whatever that is. But there are 300 RV pads alone at this resort that we have. 25 plus different other tiny homes, glamping items that we can stay in if you don't have an RV. Or you can even rent one of the most technologically advanced RVs in the world. We also partner with them. So that's a whole other thing that we could get into. But they take you to your site. You pull in there. You're like, all right, this is my little campsite, whatever that is, for the weekend. They orient you, give you a little brochure, show you this little QR code that you can scan to get all the different information. And then the information will pull up on your phone, and they'll point you out like, hey, ask you, what types of things and experiences would you want to have? Do you want to go and sit on the beach in our lagoon and overlook the west facing sunsets of North Carolina saltwater and all of that? Do you want to, or do you not like natural beaches? Oh no, water is so scary. Anything could be in there. Do you want just a lazy river to relax in or do something like that? Maybe you're here for some yoga. Maybe you want some workout. Maybe you just want to see some cool things. Maybe you just want to get away from all of that, but they can guide you to that experience, and then you can have a fun itinerary of what you can do at that point. So they're getting you excited, and you can see all the different events that we're going to have there, and just you've got that personal concierge touch that you can tap on if you need. But of course, there's going to be, even if you don't want to talk to a human, I get it. Sometimes we don't want to talk to a human. And so to each different person, there's like an online little thing where you can just interact with our virtual AI. Right. So we've got a little AI chatbot that can ask you, hey, what types of things do you guys like to do? Right. And then you can say, we like working out. We like bikes. We like, just relaxing. We'd like to have a couple drinks, looking for some food. And then the AI can recommend, hey, why don't you go here and there on our site map so that you don't miss any of these things. And if you're with your family, like here's more family friendly versus if you're in a couple, here's more couple related things. So you can have that curated experience right from the beginning. Holy smokes. A lot of places don't even offer everything that I've just shared with you right there. Right? But there's so much more, so much freaking more.
Yeah.
So,
and I wanted to jump in real quick just
yeah.
because with that experience that you're going to have coming into the park, I'm more in this business and in this company, I'm more of the guy who thinks of like, how will it all look, not just experience. Zach is really broiled down into the experience of it all. I'm wondering, how will it look in terms of like with your memories that you'll have when you think back of this place. So one thing I was talking to Zach before this episode was, I want the same awe that people had, as much as we can get to, or as close to as that Jurassic Park scene where they're opening up the gates and you're just like, you don't really, that you've heard things about it, you've maybe seen things online, but there's this like world of wonder on the other side of the fence. And even just to the entrance, I want the entrance to reminisce something more like a fancy hotel, a spa in the Caribbean, something that just is not associated with an RV park entrance, or what you would expect when you go into these places that are just, they're all very, very similar. I've only seen a few places that really take the time to make the memory of just coming into their resort, their park, that much more better than the competition. So going into the park, it feels like you're going into Jurassic World. All these new things that you've heard about, they have robotic bartenders and robotic, trash pickup staff, and all these new technologies will make you feel like you're in the Jetsons. And that is 100% the one of my goals as the head of the technology, is to have it where we have an opportunity to take the technology and bring it to from a futuristic cartoon to what is available in modern today. So you'll be going in and seeing the future, and it might look a little weird. It might look out of place, but all in all, getting into your spot and getting set up, once we start to learn about all the opportunities that you have, all things you can enjoy, all of the different ways you can relax, it really makes it so that, things like the glamping, the luxury glamping that Zach's going to go into detail about, it feels like it all makes sense in our location because we've put them all together and made them in a way that it all works, and we can show it and share it to our guests.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why we make a good partnership in all of this and with the rest of our team, of course. But it's having all those different visions together that crafts this super amazing destination that is like none other. Right. And so it's Instagram worthy in and of itself. And so there's so many ways that we're going to be getting free advertising, that you're going to be hearing about us. So keep your ear to the ground and you won't have to be listening too long. But yeah, let's talk about some of these cool features. Paint these things even more for you so that you can visualize them. So glamping, Eric talked about how it is fancy camping, right? And I know that some people, associate camping with dirt and bugs and things like that. Well, these things will be around you, but I'm going to tell you that these glamping is definitely not going to be full of bugs or dirt. It's going to be basically like a luxury hotel type of feel inside of these different typologies, I think of them in architecture, but these different structures that you get to enjoy, right? And so the first one, and there's a bunch of different ones, but I guess setting the stage, everyone thinks of camping as a tent that you'll go, or maybe you'll think of a lodge and a cabin, but it feels very rustic. And so, because of that, we wanted to go very far away from rustic and anything associated with that. So, we don't want something that has a log type of feel on it. We don't want something that has a cloth type of wall to it. So none of that is going to happen. We just recently went to Glamping Shows America, and something where all the different vendors come from the world, and it happened to be around Denver, Colorado in the fall of this year, and they showcase everything, and you can go and walk into them, you can touch them, feel them, talk to the designers, the manufacturers, and everything. And we were not focused on anything that had cloth or a cabin or a wagon type of feel. No good, right? And so these types of things that we're going to have. So the first is like a dome. I don't know if you guys have seen geodesic domes before. Buckminster Fuller, nerd out a little bit in architecture, designed the geodesic dome, but it's a dome. It looks like, any snow, half of a snowball, right? But giant, something that you can be inside, probably about 350 square feet inside of that. But it has different panels on the outside that reflects on the outside, that gives you space where no one can see what you're doing on the inside, but it also frames certain views. So you still have windows, but it's just all those different things together. You're inside there, and it still has your modern amenities. You can get a shower in there, you can get a bathroom in there. Of course, you're having your bed and all the things to enjoy. And we've even made it where we can have two of these domes together on a platform, elevated 6 inches, 12 inches, whatever, above the ground in that location. So you're off the ground on a wood deck, essentially, in this dome, which is another level of protection from dirt and bugs and everything. And these two domes can be on there together, connected together by a passageway, essentially a hallway. And then on your platform as well, your glamping site, you can also have a hot tub. And so you get to enjoy the hot tub out in nature, overlooking the sunset on the water of North Carolina, while you have your own either living area and sleeping area, or you have the kids' room and the adults' room to have a little separation within that. right? And
Yeah.
so, how fun would that be? And you take pictures of that on your social media. You're like, everyone's commenting, where the heck are you? Right? We don't see these things every day. Where in the heck are you? And you say Hidden Beach RV Resort and Glamping, and that's just free advertising, right? There's so many ways we're getting free advertising because we're doing something that's super unique and awesome. And so, all right, cool building that you get to be in. Imagine you take that whole thing and you throw it 30 feet up in the air. It's all like my childhood dreams and having little boys. I get to play that all out in real life. Is we get to make tree houses, tall, modern tree houses. And there's a few different types of looks to them and all, but just imagine, you got to go 30 feet up into the air to get to this. You're walking the stairs, getting up into that, and then you get up there and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this view, overlooking everything at that point, looking over all the other glamping people that are down there, right? But it's so fun getting a different perspective on just the same location. And you get privacy. Obviously, no one's looking into your giant window that's facing at the wonderfully framed view, whatever that view is. But yeah, you can enjoy the sunset up there. We still have a fire pit down below. You can have a hot tub and all of this. So this is just next level stuff that you don't get to see a lot of different places. Super, super fun. And I know that Eric's got a couple options he wants to share with you too.
Yeah, so Zach was able to talk about the geodesic domes. You've probably seen something similar to them in any space-based movie or show that has those domes, that has all the little angles and the polygons, essentially, where it looks like it's a sphere that it's pointy, essentially. Those are really common in space movies, so you get to see those. And then, with the tree houses, those, just imagine seeing sunsets and sunrises 30 feet up in the air above everybody else, seeing the water. You can't really top that. But what I wanted to talk about are one of them is very dear to me because I am a fan of the Airstream brand, because technically it's the only RV I've ever owned. And we're going to be taking a lot of really old ones that these type of RVs. Airstreams are one of the only few brands that are not made with just wood. They're made with metal, so they last a lot longer. So you can find Airstreams that were built in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, and some of the 50s and 60s models are actually still on the road because people restore them. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting some really amazing vintage, restored, polished Airstreams that are going to be styled in 3 different themes. We'll have, one might be an Art Deco, one might be a nice little, a fun beach theme, and then the third one might be more of like a modern or like a boho chic style. That it's as big as a normal hotel room. So these 3 items, or these 3 Airstreams, are going to be on their own platforms with their own like wood lined barrel style hot tubs and their own fire pits, their own pergola roofs with string lights, so that you can just have your own little escape while you're staying in this vintage RV. And the last item I want to talk about is the XXL glamping domes. So these are not going to be the harder material that is going to be in our other geodesic domes, because these have to be so big. They're going to be between 300 to 400 square feet. In New York, that's a mansion. That's 2 mansions, actually. They're going to be so big. You're going to be able to have a king size bed in there, a kitchenette, a full size shower, and then a soaking tub, and also a TV and a kitchen area, a dining room table, so you can have your meals. That is unheard of in anything short term glamping world. Like, that is very rare. Generally, you get the very basic. You might not get a nice sized bed, but everything else is tiny. So we're going to be just really pushing the boundary, pushing the limits on what people think is out there with these luxury glamping options. We want to just put our own spin to it, having them all be on private decks with private hot tubs and their own little fire pits and their own little world that they can slice of heaven that they can take with them and spend the weekend in. That is where we don't need only people with RVs to come to our resort. We want everybody to come to our resort. So it's open to all, and we're hoping that these crazy ideas of ours translate to really satisfied customers and guests, And also we can't wait to we can actually go in and spend the night in there with our families, with our little boys. So we're just as excited as everyone else we've ever told these our concepts to.
Yeah, heck yeah. And that's the point is we want to get everyone excited to go and spend time in here, whether you're afraid of dirt or not afraid of dirt, whatever you like, just catering to that. And honestly, actually, unless you really love dirt so much, I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about how we're going to play with sand later on, but not dirt so much. That's why this is a resort level. Come to one of our other RV parks if you want a little bit more of a dirt. We can have some dirt ones, but imagine, so all awesome glamping and everything that's there. Yes, some people are going to come with their RVs, of course, but what if you just want to try and live that RV life? What's it like being in an RV? Well, people can rent those. There's places you can rent them online and they can drop them off on one of these pads all ready for you. So that's cool. But if you want to be in one of the next level amazing modern best type of thing in the world, RVs, we are working with the most technologically advanced RV manufacturer in the world, and so check us out for that. But some of the things that are so wild about this is they don't even use RV types of parts in them, like RV windows and RV fridges and RV everything. You wouldn't know if you weren't in an RV or had experience. But those parts, they're not like your typical windows, your typical fridges, your typical everything at that point. So they have all of these where it feels like a house, and yet alone the air conditioner that they designed is so innovative, so crazy that you can even take the condensate water, the water that drips off your air conditioner. You see that outside, drip, 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 drip. They can take that, collect that, filter that. And you can even drink it. It's crazy, right? It's absolutely freaking crazy. But it also has solar panels on the roof so that it uses all its own energy. You don't have to take any energy from us. And even better, when no one is staying there, all that energy that's collected, it doesn't go to waste because no one is there. It actually gets fed right back into our resort. So we can have a fleet of these around the whole resort, and whether they're empty or not, they're making money, they're doing good for the environment, and they're freaking awesome to look at, to be in, and everything like that. So lots of crazy technology. We're going to transition into a little bit more from Eric. Careful now. This is his playground. He absolutely loves it. So I'll let him talk all about robots.
All right. So to start off, where I started with robots, when I was a young kid in elementary school, I used to go in. I used to be a part of this after-school program called Odyssey of the Mind. And when this is in the '90s, one of my projects was to try to make an autonomous figure or human. So we had little RC cars for feet. Then we had the erector sets from like the 60s and 70s to make the body. And then we just used a lot of balloons to fill up a shirt and some pants. And then it was mostly string, and we were like in third grade. So it was as good of an effort as a bunch of third graders could put together. But that kind of like sparked my love of like, what if that really was a robot, or if it was even able to grab the thing we were trying to grab, right? We had a hand that it didn't work well. So that was when I was a kid. And then as technology's progressed, I've been fortunate enough to, as a millennial, to see the growth of all the technology, whether it was social media, computers, smartphones, and regular phones, over the past 30 years of my life. And we have gotten into this age where those cartoons I watched as a kid, the Jetsons that I mentioned earlier, those robots are here. They're not priced for everyone yet, but they are here, and they are applicable. They're usable in different industries beyond just what people assumed, which is manufacturing and making cars and making industrial stuff. That was what robots have usually been known for. But nowadays we are getting assistant robots, and one of our first robots that we're really excited for is the bartending robot. So it doesn't have a body; it's just two robotic arms that grab drinks, mix them, pour them into your cup, mix them for you, and make your cocktail. And it has no need for cigarette breaks, no need for bathroom breaks. As long as the power is still running, this guy can run. This girl, we don't know what persona we're going to give it, can run 24/7, which means cheaper drinks for our guests and better returns for us. Plus, who doesn't want to see a robot make you a drink? Like, I want to see a robot do all the things I do in my life. Most of those things I'd like to see a robot take over, just to see how well does it do it. How cool is this? So that's robot number one. That one's going to be badass. Number two is we're going to have a barista robot. They had the same style in, I think, the San Francisco airport, and it's an enclosed robot, but it's a Starbucks in a box that you get to see with the same type of technology. These arms, these mechanical arms, make your was it like zebra milk with like egg froth and 4 sugars
Super
Starbucks
Trooper
drink.
Choco Latte.
So yeah, so it's going to be a fun. That one we're excited because we know the kids. That one's a little bit more family friendly. The kids can get a hot chocolate from it. You can see a little hot chocolate get made, and that's going to be one of our if somebody wants a coffee, go to the barista bot. So those are the first 2 bots. We're going to have other robots around the property, such as like pool skimmer robots that can map the pool and keep it clean, lawn maintenance, little robots keeping the grass cut overnight. So when people wake up, there are no clippings because they cut every single night, and they're kept so short that there are no clippings. So these robots can just cut grass all night long, as well as our store. Our dry goods store is going to be super cool. It's going to be a 40-foot shipping container with 2 rails, and as you can see, the theme is pretty consistent. Robot arms. We're just having a lot of robot arms everywhere. These 2 robot arms will slide down the rails, grab items from the shelving, put it in your bag, and hand it to you. So you can either remotely order your items or order from the little tablet up front at the kiosk, and watch as this. It's a see-through. Everyone can see what's going on and watch all these robots do their thing. It's going to be hard. You're going to probably have to tell your kid, no, we can't go play at the robot store. Go play at the playground. And little Jimmy will be like, but I want to see the robots. And I will know that that kid is hopefully my kid turns out like that. So that's robot. We have the bartender, we have the barista, we have the store, we have a bunch of little auxiliary, just other robots. They won't have names, they won't have personalities, but the creme de la creme, what we're really, really excited for is humanoid robots are no longer science fiction. Boston Dynamics, there's a new company called Unitree out of China. There are Tesla's got their Optimus bots. You could buy a bipedal robot and train it to pick up things from your yard, cut your grass, all these things. It can happen right now. It's a little tougher than it will be in a few years, where you could just tell it, write a prompt and say, hey, make my yard pretty, and the robot does everything. But we're on that path, and we're jumping on the bandwagon now, because we want to have it where the trash is picked up not by us and not by you, by robots. We want to have one robot. You leave your trash in a special bin or in a special bag at the end of your pad. One robot picks it up, puts it in the giant bin the other robot is pushing, and there goes one pad's trash picked up in the morning. Rinse and repeat every few days. No trash laying around. Nobody's having to drive the trash on their vehicles. Nobody's having to drive the trash on the golf carts. They just get to go, oh, that's Will and Smith, our trash robots. And yeah, they're here. So make sure you're ready, honey, because they're just going to keep going. You might miss your trash pickup day, but who wouldn't love robotic trash pickup? I mean, how cool is that? Like, I want that today, now.
So to speak to that, I'm sure there's plenty of you that are post-apocalyptic, you conspiracy theorists, anything, and you're like, oh my gosh, robots, they're going to take over our lives. What are these guys talking about? Well, I'm going to share with you that robots will take over our lives. Look and watch these next 5 years. Holy smokes, the next 10 years, so many jobs are going to be replaced by robots in every which way possible. Just start and look at some of the news. You'll see that. So we're just on the cutting edge, and we know it's going to happen. We're going to use it in a playful way. We're going to use it in a fun way, so we don't have to pay workers' comp. People don't have to pretend they're sick, be sick, and we can have our stores open 24/7 and just use
I want to
our
add
advantage.
one little thing. With the robots that are coming, people have heard of Tesla having an autopilot where the car drives itself. And for the first meetup of the company at the property, I was able to borrow a Tesla. It is a 500-ish mile drive. And I am not joking when I say of that drive, I drove less than 5% of the way, both ways. All I had to do was keep my head facing the road to be paying attention and my hands on my lap to be able to grab the wheel. And I drove only 5%. Over 1,000 miles, that means I drove, my math is horrible, 50 miles in 1,000 miles. So
The future
that's not
is
bad.
here. The future
Yeah,
is
it's
here,
here.
right? It might not be in wherever you are listening right now, but it will be soon. And so if you are fearing that whole iRobot type of mentality taking over our lives, or Matrix style, whatever, apocalypse is coming, then you should come to our private beach. Float around in our private beach and just chill. Right, relax a little bit, make those wonderful memories. Because yeah, we're having this huge lagoon that we're going to have there. So it's a giant lagoon that's already there, salt water, sandy beach all around it. Holy smokes. We did a little math beforehand, and the water, the pond itself is about the size of a football field, a little bit bigger, but about the size of a football field. So imagine a whole bunch of different cabanas all on the beach. You got the umbrellas, you're enjoying things, but there's enough space where you're not all right on top of each other. I know you've all been on a beach where you're right next to the person. There's no privacy. It's what it is. It's fine. It's beautiful. Well, we're going to have a lot more space between people, because that's one of the things that the RV community actually likes at times, is just having some space, some separation, your own little house. But maybe just maybe you're afraid of all the things in the water. You don't want to put your feet in there because, fish and dirt, again, are scary to you. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. That's why we're also having this amazing lazy river. So there's a couple pools that are going to be on the resort. There's an adults only section, and then there's the everyone friendly section. The everyone friendly section is going to have this meandering lazy river, so you can just float around, enjoy your comfort, and knowing that the days of living without robots are coming to an end. And so enjoy all that in the lazy river, but you can also have, just anything brought right there to you. And so besides all that, one of the problems, just to frame this up for you, and I'll tee this off for Eric, is one of the problems that we have, it's a different problem that we're facing with an RV resort versus a multifamily building, or a single family, or a mobile home park, heaven forbid. We'll talk about the differences between a mobile home park and an RV park or resort in a different episode, because we get confused. They are not the same. But the difference that we have is that ours is more like an Airbnb, a short-term rental, as opposed to someone that signs a lease and then is there for a year. So what do we have to do? What do great Airbnbs do, these ones that are at destinations, is they make it so amazing all around that you just want to come back over and over and over. And maybe it's because you're in the cool city, the cool beach area, but there's plenty of them that are also really cool to go to themselves. I know that there was a Pixar one that one of our friends was showing us recently. Man, this thing is
That
next
was
level Pixar.
uh,
It's just
I've seen a
insane. But
bunch. Yeah, that one was just top of the line.
when someone does something well, you can see it. It's a cohesive design throughout. That's exactly what we're planning for our resort. But more importantly, it's that notion of we have to get people to always come back, always come back. So we're always asking ourselves, from my last episode, you would have listened, how many ways? Not like, can we get people to come back, or like, how can we get them to come back? No, how many ways can we get them to come back to our resort? And we have a litany of reasons. We came up like with some of the best reasons, taking a nod from video games, because video games have to deal with this. So I'll let Eric talk to you about our seasons of the resort.
So Zach mentioned video games. I've always played video games all my life. I think I started at like 3 years old. A few years later, my dad said, "Hey, here's how you launch a video game." He told me how to type in the DOS prompt, which a lot of potential listeners might be like, what is DOS? DOS is the old school language you had to use before the computers had mice and interfaces and were apps that you could just click install. All right. So a long time ago, right? So I've played games all my life. And one of the things I've seen that's happened over the years that's really, really made the publishers, the game developers, lots, and they are printing money. They take the same thing. So let's say it's Pac-Man. But instead of giving you Pac-Man that you have to play the same exact Pac-Man for 30 years, well, this quarter or this year, it's Pac-Man and Pirates. So now it's a Pac-Man pirate theme that you pay a little bit extra to get access to. And now you're in a new version of the same exact game, but to people, they don't know that. They feel like they're playing a new game. So taking that same concept of, we have this business, this resort, this place that people are going to visit, and if we didn't change a single thing, would they continue coming back and forth if it looks exactly the same on year 1, 2, 3, all the way to year 20, year 30 if it's a family tradition? Some people love that, and we're not taking that memory making and that memory away, but what we were going to do is we're going to add a layer on top of it. And when we're going to do theming, where we will, one year, Hidden Beach, the first year, we won't need a theme. We're new. We're great. But maybe on year 2, we might have an Atlantis theme. So now there's Atlantis games. There's Atlantis themed prizes. There's Atlantis themed events. The colors and how we decorate things and how the park is, looks for that season, for that year, will be an Atlantis theme. And then the next year might be a Pirates theme, or it might be a space theme. But yeah, the whole idea is we have an unlimited amount of opportunity by turning the resort into a tapestry that we just wipe clean. We have the buildings there, we have the infrastructure there, but how do we skin it? How do we theme it? How do we make it feel different, but still be the same? The essence, the core of it be the same. And doing something like that, a lot of businesses are running out, are losing out, not even trying something like this. There is a cost to it, but if you can bring back people and extend the lifetime value of your customer, your guest, 2 times, threefold, like 10x, who wouldn't want to do that? So that $1 makes $10. It's one of those things that we're trying differently, and I'm excited because it really lets us reset the park and be a new resort, not a park, a new resort every year. So every year we're doing a new theme. Feels like it's a new project.
Yeah. So besides kids, of course, wanting to come back to the place over and over again, once they find out that it's going to be this new theme, or even the adults find out like something that relates to everyone's like, okay, well, awesome. Everyone gets excited about it because change in life, I would say people don't like. There's fear with that. But a little bit of modification on vacation can keep things interesting when you know that you're in a safe place that in general you like. So that's absolutely what we're looking to do. So we can go over a few little things that we're going to gamify throughout the resort. And one of the first ones is fitness. We've got this workout nature trail that goes around serpentine zigzags all around the whole place. Running, being fit, it's super important to me. A lot of the people on our team and a lot of people in the world, you want to get out in nature. That's part of the point of coming to a place like this. And then also being fit. I think everyone has that on their mind, whether they're thinking that they are or they aren't, or they like or they don't like it. Everyone is quite aware of fitness advertisements out there. But one of the things that we're going to be doing with that is we're going to gamify this workout trail, this nature trail. Right now, it's about a 2-mile long trail that goes all around everything. And we're going to have little kiosks along the way. So those little kiosks are going to have a little QR code. You can take them, you can scan them with your phone, be like, ooh, what's this? Boop. Our app that you have already downloaded to get all the different events and everything, it'll be right inside of there and all your benefits. But you'll get to see, click that link and a little workout will come up and you'll be able to do, it's like, all right, at this station, we're going to do push-ups. It's like there's a spot so that an elevated spot. You can put your hands, so you don't have to put them in the dirt. But put your hands on here, do some push-ups, or like do some squats at this spot, do some step-ups at this spot, do jumping jacks, whatever the very easy, accessible type of thing is. We're just trying to get families, people, everyone to get around the whole resort, get a little bit of air, a little bit of fitness, a little bit of sun, and enjoy that experience with your families. But even more so, when you go and you end up collecting all the different ones in our app, you go to all the different spots within there, it's going to say, you win a prize, right? Gamifying it within the gamified resort. So you get a prize. prize. Well, what's that prize? So for little kids, anyone that's interested in of that age, they get to go to that robot in that general store that Eric was talking about that's on the rails, and it'll go and it'll grab them a little token, a little prize, a little figurine, little whatever that is of the season of our year. If we're doing a pirate theme, of course, it'll be a pirate. If it is Jamaica theme, I hope it won't be a joint, but I mean, it could be something. It could be something, like Jamaica colors, little Rastaman, little. But like that's the idea, is the kids get to enjoy something like that, and you're like, as an adult, like, oh man, what it's great for the kids, but what about me? Well, I imagine everyone likes to drink, alcoholic or not. So for an adult, you get to go to the other robot and get a free alcoholic drink mixed up for you, whatever you want, or the coffee barista, or a non-alcoholic, this, that, whatever the heck you want, you get one on the house. So we're just encouraging people to have fun, make those memories, because you're going to remember that time with your family, with everyone, and then you're going to be like, wow, they gave us something for free. And also, I mean, shucks, when you have a little token that your kid is playing with every year, doesn't that mean they're probably going to remember to like, hey, do you want to go back to where that you got that little toy? What are they going to say? No. Never, right? You're probably going to want to hide that for them if you don't want to go back all the time. But that's just one of our many marketing things that we have going on with that. A couple other things, of course, is a retreat. Like, I know a lot of people are aware of what retreats are. You're going to a place to, like, get inside your own head, relax, maybe learn something, elevate yourself. It could be you individually. It could be you as a couple. It could be you as a family. But we're going to bring in different specialists from around the world to help elevate everyone's mind, their body, recharge and reset some of these things within them, which is just so liberating. Right. And then the other thing, another retreat that we have is, since we are creating this one of a kind, this most technologically advanced RV destination in the world, we get to showcase that to the rest of the RV community. And so they can come in like the CES, the Consumer Electronics Showcase, and they can see what's going on right here. Like, we've got a pretty humdrum RV park here, but I wonder what things we can add from this Disneyland of RV parks that we can add to ours within that. And so we get to showcase that. And part of that is that we get a lot of free stuff from all these vendors around the world, so that they can be at this location. You guys can make those memories of all of that. And then the next thing is just, we're going to have so many different things, so many different children's activities, family-friendly items in general, that it's going to be so amazing. One of these times, we'll talk to you about all the different photo strips ideas that we have. I don't know that we want to put that one out there so much. Everyone's going to steal it. We're going to put it out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's a good one. And then also with the family-friendly activities, just a quick mention, we're definitely, it's leaning towards I really hope this will happen, because it's amazing having little sandboxes where people can have remote controlled construction equipment and just play with sand and maybe a little bit of dirt, just like all the grown-ups want to, all the little kids can. And that's just one of the many gaming and family-friendly activities we'll have in the resort.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone needs a little bit of time alone, and so having the ability to have some drop-in daycare there is just going to be phenomenal, right? Everything in moderation, even moderation. Love your children, spend lots of time with them. Also, spend time without them, so that you can solidify yourself as a good couple, a good family. Great stuff, right? Does that sound just freaking amazing? Amazing stuff. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a vision into what we're doing. I know if you check out some of our socials online, we're going to share some of those visuals with you as well. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the talks, all the letters of the alphabet will be on there. So I hope we got you a little bit excited about this Disneyland of RV parks, this resort that we're creating. So I want to ask you, like, can you see yourself and your family enjoying our resort? I hope so. I mean, there's so many things that they can do, right?
I mean, with our family, we designed it initially for ourselves, and then all these boys, all the children started being born, and it's like, okay, now we're doing it for our family. So we are definitely building it for our family, and we're hoping that some of our wants and interests will align with your families.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to see you there, either as a guest, someone who's enjoying posting how awesome it is, making those memories, or even an investor, right? So, either of those, whether you want to be any of those or all of those above, please. If those topics, all of these that we're talking about interest you, of course, on our podcast, and you want to learn more, just stay in touch. If you look at the show notes, you'll be able to become an official Invest In insider and continue your journey with us. And we'll do the same with you. We'd love to have feedback from you with all of that. So please, if you're on YouTube or other socials, anything like that, give us your input on what type of activities and features you'd love us to build. Maybe you've seen something that we haven't. We're extremely open-minded, and we're at the clearing phase right now of trees, so it's not too late to add something new. So if you comment on something, give us some of that input. We'll give you a shout out right here on the podcast, give you credit for it. So yeah, we're just always going to be continually keeping you posted about all our different updates. So definitely try and get on that list.
Yeah, and definitely. We've talked about a lot of stuff today, and we're going to be talking about a lot of this stuff going forward. We had robotic bartenders, we had 30-foot tree houses, we had geodesic domes that could be seen on Martian, in space. All these different things, private lagoons and beaches, and having a lazy river, gamifying the whole experience and having a seasonal theme so that we can always be that fresh RV resort, that fresh memory people want to grab to. That's just a taste of the things we're going to be doing at Hidden Beach RV Resort, as well as what we're going to be discussing with our other RV parks that we actually are acquiring throughout the year. So, this is just a small piece of the puzzle that we're going to try to make that whole puzzle over the course of the next few episodes. And, it's just one of those things that one episode can't do it justice.
No. And so that's why we want to share that story over time, because this is going to be amazing. It's a fun story. It's an amazing destination. And so, yeah, if you're curious about any of these things, all this technology, glamping, RVs, real estate, investments, any of those, please stay in touch with us, subscribe, download all the things, and interact with us on social media. And even more so, if you want to interact on a more personal one-on-one level, you could chat with me directly. I mean, there's going to be a link right in the show notes where you can chat with me about investments and, who knows, potentially even being a part of this one and only Disneyland of RV parks. You'll see a link right in the show notes. So check that out, where you would be able to schedule that one-on-one discovery call with me just to chat and talk about Maverick Asher Capital. Sweet. So I'm checking right now. I might have a text from my wife. Oh, no. Okay. Yes, but it's not about the baby. So we're good to go. No baby, nothing labor yet. We have our pool. It's good. But as soon as I get that text, I got to hop into action and fill it with hot water and get things going. So we're good to go. So make sure that you join us next time for more ways to invest in your mind, your life, and your bank account. Be well, everyone.
Take care.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Invest In podcast. We hope you gained valuable insights to fuel your investment journey.
If you found this episode helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Your support helps us bring more insider knowledge from the top real estate and investment minds.
And if you're ready to take your investments to the next level, follow us on social media at Go Invest In on Instagram, LinkedIn, X, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere for more expert tips, behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive updates.
Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep investing, keep building, and we'll see you on the road.